Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode Episode 112. We're at Brabantse, Pijl. It's our only objective of the season that is not a World Tour race. But it's still going to be easier said than done on the objective today, as we need a top 5. Brabantse Pijl is a classic, and we're not very good at classics. We've got some uphill cobbled sections that are definitely going to do some damage. There's only a handful. So theoretically, as long as we're at the front, as long as we put the effort in those moments where we need it, we'll be fine. I thought it was finishing as a sprint. Turns out that it's actually going to finish with a punchy climb, which isn't the worst thing. Because looking at what we have, well, we've got not the best race day conditions amongst the team. We've got a lot of red in there, largely thanks to the weather. Fitness is good for everybody. We're just, Monotoglu, 100% fitness. He's on a -3. Monotoglu with a 64 mountain, 67 hill base, plus these negatives. No, we're not going to ride for him. For Mark, kind of lucky I brought Vermark, because Vermark is here primarily as the vote of confidence for the make the sponsors happy with somebody popular. He's going to end up being the guy today on a 0 race day condition. Jorgensen, a +3, is still useless. Gazzoli, a +1, can't climb at all. So my best climbers, obviously Vermark, but Wykankis, Rajkovic are the guys that are a bit punchy and sprinters. I would absolutely be riding for one of them today, except they're both on -2s. That hurts. They will be used for the lead out for Kevin Vermark. Hopefully Vermark can hang in there a little bit, but that's what we have to work with. Hopefully Vermark can pull off a bit of a result here. We've got a breakaway of 12 riders. They've got a 2-minute gap, and we are coming into our cobbled sections. We've already been through the first one. Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for what's to come, as it's going to be a bit more intense than the earlier one. 4-star section. It's only 500 meters, but it's also uphill, so you can see just how long it takes to get through that short section. Monotoglu, it's really hurting him. We're going to hit, I believe, the same section 2 more times. Peloton splitting. There's only 50 riders. That's a really good thing for us. The more it splits, as long as we make the splits, the better off we'll be. We do need water one final time. Monotoglu isn't going to be around much longer. Let's go ahead and use him to take care of that. Who is he protecting, by the way? Vermark. Vermark's not somebody I want to leave isolated. I like having a small peloton, and it's getting smaller, not larger. Oh, come on. I've had some really bad luck lately. There is no chance that Kevin Vermark is coming back from this crash. Kajer, screw you, man. Took us out. Bye. Goodbye, Kevin Vermark. And now the red train, as in Wykankis and Rajkovic, is on. In fact, look at that. The entire next group is already gone. And somehow things are suddenly back together. Really? That was a sizable gap. Is there any chance of Vermark returns? I doubt it, because we're going to hit that section again. I will give him a chance. Oh, see, there you go. 2.5 minutes. Actually, only a minute, but can you ease your way forward? And I will not focus on you. If it happens, it happens. Okay, the rest of these guys need a little more energy, and go ahead and protect Alves Machado. Here we go again. 500 meters. 56 in this group at the front, and it's short enough and it's wide enough that we don't lose much ground.
Some will try to stay in the middle, while
All right,
others
let's
will
check
stick to the
in
sides,
on
practically on the
Vermark.
grass.
Certainly has made his way forward a good bit. Yes, almost. Ooh, that one does not count. It's very short. Vermark. Everybody else is doing fine at the front. It's all together at the moment. And Vermark has nearly made his way back. Let's not waste a whole lot of energy doing so now that you're close. There, we've got a good distance until we come up on the next thing. Alves Machado needs to protect Vermark. Let's bring him back
The gap is
immediately.
widening.
Pull
It's
him
now
forward.
over 2
Monotoglu's
minutes.
done.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for
Oh,
the
look at
pack.
that. He's
They
back.
obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
And the Peloton has split again. But how effective will Vermark be later on? As that took
With less
quite
than
a bit of
20
energy
kilometers, the lead is still
for him
over
to
a
come
minute.
to the
It's
front.
going to be
22K to
hard
go.
work to maintain the
It's
breakaway.
still nearly
The
2
riders are
minutes
going through a
to the
very tough
breakaway.
position with percentages
Are you kidding me?
above
Is this going to
10%.
be the day where the breakaway actually pulls a result? 42 riders chasing just 11, and it's a 1.5-minute gap. We are going to have to sprint train this thing further out than you would think if we're going to have any chance of catching those guys. 17K.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Rajkovic somehow just missed the split, even though he's going at an 86. This is the time to do something with that. Jorgensen dropped because he was supposed to be protecting Rajkovic.
This year, some sections have seen
Once
their
we get
top
through
roads
this, we
refurbished,
set
but I
ourselves
can
up
assure
for
you
that
that
chase.
it doesn't mean renewed.
Bring those guys
They
back.
still remain a significant difficulty. The riders are
Rajkovic
entering the last 15
has
kilometers of the
made
stage.
it in contact. There you go. Maybe. All right, sprint train. Time. 15K to go. And because we are still chasing the breakaway, we have got to get a move on. Vermark is pretty tired. We're going to put him on the back and hope he's still in it. It's either going to be, well, it's got to be Wykankas for now. Oh yeah, much stronger on the punchiness. Jorgensen, I think, yeah, 71. And then Alves Machado and Gazzoli. So Gazzoli going to work, starting the chase. He is at the front. That's good. Let's hope that Wykankas is able to make it up into position, but it's time. It's time. We get to move on and start pulling this thing back. That's 11 riders off the front. Wykankas. Oh, there we go. Rajkovic has made it up here. Okay, 48 chasing 10. It's a minute that we are behind. There's the last big one besides the finish.
10 kilometers left.
56 seconds. And Gazzoli is just about done here. Get Alves Machado ready. Oh, come on. Come on. Don't. I'm going to be so ticked if we finish 11th behind that front 10. 3 of them are peeling off. We'll catch those guys. Okay, Alves Machado puts in a good, quick, hard turn. And then we go on to Jorgensen. Close that gap a little bit. Not a lot. Here comes the 3. Now we're fighting for 8th place. That's still not good enough. Rajkovic and Vermark are nearly done, which means realistically it's only going to be Wykankas. So, order switch. Let's ride for Wykankas now. And these 3 aren't going to be there. So, 30 seconds to catch these guys. We're splitting the Peloton. But 2 lead out guys. And they are toast. 2.2K. Wykankas is going to end up having to climb solo. And they're already attacking for the finish. Wykankas, come on, 1K. Needs to climb faster than these guys. Oh, he's going to do it. All but 2 of them. But what will he have left for the finish? Tonison and him fighting it out for what would be the victory. But it's 3rd place. It's a top 5. We're okay. We essentially just won this thing, other than the remnants of the break. Nice competition there with Tunison, and we came out on top ahead of a very strong rider. It counts. It's a podium. I'll take it. It would have been nice if that breakaway was not there, because it would have been a victory. But and I understand the criticism that I got in the comments last episode. I am not the best at classics. Main reason for that is I've been playing PCM for many years. As an American, I didn't even know anything about classics. I knew the Tour de France when I first started playing this game, and then finally got coverage in the US beyond just the Tour. We never had anything besides just the Tour. And that package deal, I finally started seeing classics. I saw Paris-Roubaix. It was like, boom, mind blown. So it wasn't even something I was familiar with. And I always played with an American sponsor. Always. And it used to be different, where you didn't bounce from sponsor to sponsor. So I always stayed in an American team. So I stayed with American style objectives, which didn't include classics. Anyway, I didn't have a reason to develop my skill as a classics manager. I developed my climbing. I developed my sprinting. I slowly developed my time trial and team time trial abilities. What came last was classics, and really it was only PCM20 where I played Pro Cyclist mode as a classics rider there for a bit, a punchy classics rider that is, that I really started to pick up the skill. So I'm years behind on developing that as I am to others. So I get it. I'm hit and miss. I'm not consistent like I am in other races. Normally sprints I'm really good at. I've had a team that's not quite good enough. And now we're still not quite good enough, but we're close enough that I'm starting to get results. And I've had to take risks. So at least this series, sprinting has not looked as good as what I'm used to. Last year we had Jasper Philipsen on the team, and he was not the top sprinter at all. But he was, like a 77, 78 or something like that, or a 77, 79. And he was winning almost every race. Of course, I was playing on the second hardest difficulty. Now I play on the hardest difficulty, and that is a factor. Anyway, we got our podium. We are secure there. We did what we needed to do. We switched at the right time. Vermark definitely did not have the energy, so that was good recognition to make that move. And that will help. We somehow still had 100% sponsor confidence even after failing miserably on our last objective. Next up for us, just a half star for Amstel Gold. That was our first super success of the year, really? Oh, I guess stage win. That's kind of locked in. And top 5, and we got 5th. So, yeah, okay. Well, anyway, Amstel Gold is next. Top 10 requirement. No cobbles. So that's good for us. That shouldn't be a difficult one. It's unfortunate that it's not our 4-star objective. I would love to have that as a 4-star objective, because I think we could quite easily get a top 10 before I then go and insert foot into mouth and finish 11th. But now that that's said, pressure is on. Early days in the 260-kilometer Amstel Gold Race. We've got a lot of distance still to cover. We'll cover a lot of this up to speed. I haven't said much about race day condition in a while. I've tried to kind of let that ship sail, be done with it. But I've had a little bit lackluster results in that department. 4 straight races we've had below expected. Not far below. It's not a big deal. But today we were expected to have a +4. We end up with a +1 overall, so we're a few points below where we should be. But most of that really just comes down to Rajkovic, who's on a -4 by himself. Jorgensen has a +4 today, but he's the least useful rider for us in this bunch. He's a classics guy with a little bit of stamina, and that's it. So he's a domestique, no matter how you look at it. We are ultimately okay, though. Vermark's a 0. Rodriguez has a +1. Eric Butt has a +3. So it's not bad. It's not bad. But it has been at least the last 4 races where we have not had even what was expected or better than expected, but none of it's been far below, so it's okay. We're into the punchiest section here, and it's a good time for the rain to stop because that'll limit the crashes a little bit. Tough sections, difficult sections tend to lead to more crashes in this game, though I'm not sure that that's actually a thing. That's my assumption, maybe because I'm more focused at that time and it impacts me more at that time than it does at other times. Maybe I'm just more aware, like I was more aware of the race day condition issues for a long time when they impact you. Less aware when they don't impact you, and therefore felt that there was something going on, when in reality, after doing a little homework and actually tracking it for a few weeks, in-game a few weeks, not real life, it was 2-3 episodes, a little while back there, actually took the time, tracked it, discovered, ultimately it is pretty balanced. At least over that stretch it was, and enough to put my mind at ease. Alright, well, we're way past the halfway point now. We've got 98 kilometers left. I don't think I have the water to get us inside that final 60k, but we'll try to hold out for a little bit. Rajkovic is going to be that first one down. He is quite tired at this point compared to everybody else, but that's that -4 for you. Even though he's a 70 resistance, 65 isn't terrible. But I suppose 63 mountain is pretty bad. 82k, and he's going to start asking about water pretty soon. I think we'll just make it inside that window. Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. 73k. I no longer think he's got the energy to get the water, though. So we'll use Jorgensen for that. Maybe not. Punchy lead out. No. I need Wojciech's speed. What about Moreau? 73, 74? Oh yeah, it's still a Jorgensen thing. I don't know. You know what? Let's use Moreau instead. Fetch water bottles. They're crying. 60k to go though. That's the favored mark, so we made it. Moreau back to get the water. That's always one of the nice things about having your entire team at the front. He didn't go all the way to the back of the peloton. He went halfway back and got water. Oh, okay. Whew. I thought that was somebody going back to get water. It wasn't. It was Rajkovic just going back because, fatigue. Done. Peloton is shrinking, 137 riders. We're chasing a breakaway of 10 with one man in no man's land who is fading. 48k to go, though. Pace is going to be pretty hot, so we're just going to see this peloton getting smaller and smaller. A couple of these punchy sections, I'm sure, is going to end up splitting the peloton once or twice, but I'd say at this point we'll still have a fairly good-sized group. Eric Butt getting caught behind. It's also time to pick up the pace as we're getting into these later stages. Wow, look how far back Rajkovic went over that little uphill section. That's what a 63 mountain and no energy will do for you.
The pace is really hot, so for the
All right, well, that's enough of watching that. Eric Butt quietly returning to the front. Kreuzberg, 500 meters, 10%. And there's a lot of these short, punchy ones here in the final stages, including a finishing climb that is a bit steep. Eric Butt, again, getting caught out a little bit. Let's go ahead and accelerate for him, but for anybody else. Okay, separation. I'm totally cool with that if that were to actually happen, except he's maybe the guy we're supposed to be riding for today, so that's not ideal. But his mountain rating sucks. It's the punchiness that's good. He's really just not using that right now. That's why he's primarily lagging behind. Reykjavik was protecting him, so Rodriguez, I don't want to sacrifice his position, Eric, but you just need to get back up there, buddy. Moreau, the only other one who's in danger right now of the fatigue setting in, getting dropped. Everybody else looking pretty good for the finish, Eric, but slowly making his way back up. Wykinkis, a little too far back. Let's bring him up a little bit more. And there we go. Back in position. Now we can switch this up.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the
And
pack.
let's pick this up for everybody.
Don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
That is very steep. Just 2 riders left away. Make that 3. .76 now in the peloton. Okay, Jorgensen is fading. Moreau is fading. Let's use those last 2 gels. Reykjavik, sorry, forgot about you.
The pack is putting the squeeze on the breakaway.
All right, there goes Moreau. Peloton down to 55, and you can see just behind this, there's danger of a split. Breakaway's done. I want to keep up the pace, though, because we are looking pretty good for 4 guys to the finish. 20K, 700 meters, and a big acceleration. We should be okay, though. Oh, we're not. 14 actually slid away on that one. Okay, Moreau's done. All right, Jorgensen, put you on auto, and we'll set up our 4 guys. This will reconvene shortly. 18K, not yet, not yet. All right, 40 still together. Quietly return to the front, you 4. Let's reset. Who's riding for who? Wykinkis. Go ahead and protect Vermark. Rodriguez is looking way too good to leave out of this thing. He's going to be one of those top 3. Wykinkis might have a 79 hill rating, but his -2 is hurting him just a little bit. He doesn't quite have the energy, so work for the team, even though Rodriguez would normally be the other way. Dang, Jorgensen's still here, huh? All right, 11K, and things are kind of kicking off with this penultimate hill. This is it right now, besides the final climb. Vermark's looking the strongest. Eric Butt to lead out Rodriguez with some extra strength, and Wykinkis gonna go right now. Let's start the action. Okay, a few guys attacking hard. This is good for me because those guys are all going solo. None of them are being lead out. Twains is not being lead out by Thiesfeld. Yeah, that little acceleration hurt these guys a bit because look what we just did to Wykinkis. But the others, they're following. Group down to 31. Okay, Wykinkis is done. 8K. Rodriguez. Take over. 72 flat. That's a good rating. We're going to put these guys into a bit of hurting as we approach the finish. And they're already hurting, so this is going to increase our chances just a little bit on this very steep final kilometer or so. Okay, 5K. Get these last 2 gels going. Rodriguez, just a little bit of energy left. All right. Heart rate just begins to drop. He had 1% left or something like that. 4K to go. Eric Butt to lead out Kevin Vermark. Keep that pressure on everybody else. See, a lot of guys are not keeping up terribly well. Wykinkis is still here. I mean, this is some guys who are just done and hanging on. What do we need? Top 5, 1.7. Okay, 1.5. So Eric Butt, sprint.
Final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today? It's in such
Lead out Kevin
percentages that the
Vermark.
strongest can create some gaps.
All right, well done. Can we fit in that space? Maybe We need to ride with Eric, but a moment longer and get him out of the way. For Mark, come on, dude. What kind of sprint is that? He went backwards. I hit sprint, and he went backwards. Lost 3 bike lengths the moment he started his sprint. And then didn't even get top 10. Oh, we set him up perfectly. Come on. Okay. All right. Well, in his defense, look at the top 10. There's a reason why we weren't on the favorites list. There's a very good reason why we weren't on the favorites list. It might not be a World Tour race, but this Amstel Gold race was loaded with talent. But still, I mean, come on for Mark. Eric Butt led you out. He was not clear of everybody else, but he was a quarter bike length to the front. And Vermark was right on his wheel. And Vermark had plenty of energy. Plenty. And 500 meters to go? We hit sprint. And Vermark instantly lost 3 bike lengths from where he was. Instead of accelerating. The other guys had already been attacking for 600-700 meters. Meaning they shouldn't have been able to go full sprint, where Vermark could. Disappointing. Really disappointing by Vermark on that one. I don't think I played that poorly. I mean, we just talked last time how I do deserve some of that criticism that I've gotten. I get it. I understand it. I don't think I played that one poorly at all. I think we set that up perfectly. That was not as good as it gets because Eric Butt could have been 1.5 bike lengths clear as opposed to a quarter bike length clear. But Vermark was in a good position. Almost ideal. And we pulled Eric Butt out of the way very, very quickly. So he didn't hold up for Mark. I understand we probably weren't going to get the win. But the top 5 absolutely was in reach. There was no reason for him to lose anything there, let alone 3 bike lengths and then some after. I mean, he lost 3 bike lengths in 2 seconds, and then he lost more the rest of the way. He had energy. He was sprinting. He should have been probably second place, maybe 4th or 5th. I mean, Matway, Alaphilippe, they're really good. 82 hill, but Vermark has an 81 hill. Okay, well, whatever. It was a half-star objective. But it sucks that what should have been our easiest objective and looked like it till the final 500 meters. And the 500 meters, was looking good. I don't know what happened that time. Berwick has an injury. Let's check that out, and then we'll call this one an episode. Flèche Wallonne is our next objective coming up. Back into the World Tour races. More classics for us. Challenging. Oh, ow. Oh. What happened to your helmet, buddy? What happened to your helmet? Fractured skull in training. Jeez. That's going to see Berwick out for a little while. I mean, at least it's Berwick. Not exactly our most important rider, 72. Start of June. Must be a minor fracture, but how is that going to impact you other than, that big thing, squishy thing that piece of your body is supposed to protect, right? Your own helmet. Anyway, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.